Good morning, Ivan.
Good
Can you
morning.
hear me well?
Yes.
That's awesome. My name is Anastasia. I'm a recruiting success manager at Haiwan, so I will lead our interview today.
Um,
Great. So could you please tell me a few words about yourself?
yeah, my name is Ivan. I am Java software engineer. I have 2 years experience in SAP Commerce Solutions and Spring Boot applications. During this
Mhm.
period, I work on two big companies. It was retail companies, and
All right.
mainly this is here.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot. Here, now let's talk about some software engineering principles. Could you please tell me about solid principles?
Yes. So SOLID is a mnemonic acronym of 5 design principles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these principles are related to the object programming, object-oriented programming, and they are single responsibility. It is open-close principle, risk of substitution.
Mm-hmm.
It is interface segregation and dependency inversion principles. Yeah.
Yeah, very well. Well done. Thanks a lot. Yeah, and so could you please tell me a little bit more about single responsibility principle?
Yes, sure. So single responsibility principle, it means that the classes we are working with should have only one task to do. It
Mhm.
should do one thing, and it also can means can be related to the low coupling and high cohesion principle. So when we are working with our classes, we should know that this class will be well readable, extendable, and we will clearly understand what this class is doing. Yeah.
You're right,
So
exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks a lot. Good. Yeah, and maybe do you know any other principles?
If you're talking about principles except solid, it can be a dry principle.
Oh,
Don't repeat yourself.
mm,
It is Yagni. You aren't gonna need it. And one more principle I'm using is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So they are
mhm.
most common principles.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Well done. Thanks a lot. Great, great. So now let's move to the next part of our interview. So now we're going to talk about Java. So maybe could you please tell me about some collections in Java?
Yeah. So collection framework is allow us to work with arrays and key value pairs like map. So in general, collection framework contains of collections and maps. Collections can be has collection has three implementation. It is list, set, and queue.
Mm.
They all work with with objects, array of objects, but they have different performance. They have different functionality. So for example, list is just a simple array that is wrapped by a Java class, and we can work with this Java array only with some wrap this by the methods.
Mhm.
It is really it allows us to have more functionality with arrays and to make it safer for us.
Yeah.
Also, there's set implementation of collection. It is non-repeatable objects can hold only non-repeatable objects. For example, the common implementation of set is hash set. Under the hood, it is working with hash map, so it will not allow us to put same objects in this list again. They all will be unique. And the queue, the third one implementation of collection is queue, and it can be represented by array list. Sorry, it will be represented by linked list.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, linked list is working based not on Java array. It is working on varied list of objects, and we can use it like a queue. Or like a simple list, for example, interface, and on the other hierarchy, we have a map. It is a key value can hold key value objects in it, represented by usually we are using hash map for as a resolution of map. Yeah, and yeah, mainly that's it.
Very well, very well. Thanks a lot for your answer. That's awesome. Very good. Great. And how can you rate yourself in using Java from 1 to 10?
From 1 to 10, so Java is
Yeah.
really
How
big, has a lot of libraries, frameworks, and related like sources to work with Java. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm very good in Java to version 11, and I'm very good in Spring. And if I yeah, maybe I can say that it is maybe 7 or 8 to work with Java. Yeah, but of course there's a lot of different libraries and frameworks that I haven't tried yet, but the most common I'm using, I'm really comfortable with.
Very well.
With them.
That's important. Yeah, great.
So,
thanks a lot. Yeah, Ivan, thanks a lot. Very well. Yeah, and now let's move on. Now, I just wanted to ask you regarding the exceptions hierarchy in Java. Yeah, so maybe just tell me about it, something.
Yes, sure. So on the top of exceptions hierarchy, we have throwable. The implementation, the child of throwable is error. It is JVM related errors. We are not using them. We are not trying to catch them. They are related to the Java virtual machine. And but we can work with exceptions and runtime exceptions. So the main difference between them is that exception is checkable exceptions. We need to catch this exception and to process the error. Otherwise, we will have a compiler failure. And we have runtime exception is checked exceptions. Sorry, it will be unchecked exceptions, and we don't need to catch them or process them. We can use them for. It is unpredictable exceptions, for example, class exception, null pointer exception, and yeah. So yeah, and mainly this is it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot. Exactly. Great. Yeah. And what about functional interfaces?
So functional interfacing is a new feature of Java 8. It brings it brought us a lot of different features related to the functional interfaces, like Lambda expressions. It helps us to make more not simple but more small code and more and with more readability. And in general, functional interfaces is just a simple interface with only one method, and we can have different variation of this method. Java provides for us a few already created interfaces, like it can be predicate, consumer, producer, function, and runnable interfaces, and yeah, and they will cover most of our Lambda expression methods.
Yeah, very good. Thank you so much. So thank you, Ivan. So I'm going to tell you that we're going to have a few more questions, yeah, on this part of our technical interview. Great. Now let's move to Spring Framework. So how can you understand what is it? What is Spring Framework?
Yeah, Spring Framework it is a big application framework and inversion of control container. Spring Framework provides for us different models. It can be a web container. It can be data access object containers. Of course, it's core container, and many other models for. So. Yes, so we can choose which container we need to use. We can easily add dependencies to the needed model and to make our project with more functionality, like out of the box. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe. And which bean scopes do you know? Bean scopes.
So the Spring Framework has at least 5 spin scopes.
Wow.
It is the most common is prototype and singleton. And also we have request, session. We have WebSocket bin scope and application context. Yeah, and application bin scope. And yes, it's it.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, and thanks a lot, Ivan. Yeah, and my last question would be regarding the dependency injection. So, what is dependency injection?
Dependency injection is a concept of creating objects or configuring them, and how these objects will be injected, and how they will how was the dependencies between the objects will be created. This dependency injection concept, Spring has an implementation of dependency injection, and it allows us to have a very low coupling between objects. And we can all we need is to have an instructions of how the bin will be configured or injected, and Spring will do it for us, and it's very useful feature in Spring. Yeah.
Thank you for your answer, and for sure. And how can you rate yourself in using Spring Framework? Of course, from 1 to 10.
Yeah, Java is big, and Spring Framework has also a lot of different libraries, framework models, and so on. But yeah, I can say that I am from 6 to 7 because there's a lot of different containers that Spring can provide for us, and we are using usually we are using only some group of them. They are the common one and not the other one, but yeah, I'm interested to read the documentation about all others in the future. I have plans for it. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, well, thank you so much. Yeah, so thank you so much for your answers, Ivan. Yeah, and I do appreciate your honesty. Yeah, and now, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a few questions regarding your English. Yeah, I hear that you speak quite well. And have you ever had any English courses or no?
Yeah, I had on my first company. We had English courses. We had like not a mentor, but yeah, a tutor. It was a group courses. Yeah, it was related to the business intensive English course, and we. Yeah, we talked about grammar, pronunciation, and soft skills. So it was intensive one. We passed it into months, 2 months. Yeah, and after that, I decided to have a tutor. So I had a tutor in English. And yeah, and I increased my speaking level in English, and a lot of grammar to use.
That's very good. Exactly. And do you know now what is your level of English?
Yeah, we need in my current company, we need to pass English tests um, 1 or 2 times a year. So
Mhm.
last time I passed my English test, I had a result of intermediate level.
Mhm.
In some parameters, I was on upper intermediate level,
Mhm.
but yeah, general score was like intermediate. I will
Yeah.
have one more test soon.
Yeah. So around B1, B2. Yeah, B1 plus B2 in this range. Very well.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, exactly.
That's well, exactly. And yeah, and do you sometimes maybe have any problems with understanding your colleagues, like who speak English, or no, or it's okay, or maybe sometimes while you're reading something?
Yeah, I worked with colleagues from different countries. It was
Mhm.
colleagues from USA, Canada, United Kingdom, Europe, and from India. So I had no problems to understand them. Of course, there can be cases with some special idioms, for
Yeah.
example, yeah, and but I can quickly Google it, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll know what we are talking about. Yeah,
Sure.
if it's a small talk or some
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
general stuff. Yeah,
Exactly. So exactly. Yeah. So this skill to Google something quickly is very important also. Yeah.
yeah,
Great, great
great.
one. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Yeah, thank you so much again for this interview. So I should say that we will inform you regarding the results of this interview soon. Yeah, and I think that's all. So yeah, thank you, thanks a lot. And maybe do you have any other questions to me?
Um, Maybe no. I have your contacts, and I will
Yeah,
reach you if I'll have some questions.
yeah.
Thanks.
Of course, no problem. Great, so thank you. I wish you to have a very nice day. Let's keep in touch. And so if everything is nice, so I wish you to have a perfect second interview.
Yes, thank you very much. It was great to have this interview for me and to um, yeah. So
Yeah,
have a
that's
good
great.
day.
Thank you. Have a